It had been a bright and joyful summer in the little village of Animal Town. The days had stretched long and golden, filled with laughter and sunshine as all the young ones spent their time swimming in the sparkling waters of the Blue River, running freely through the Emerald Meadow and gathering handfuls of juicy berries from the wild berry patch. Animal Town truly was a charming and peaceful place. A gentle, glistening river curved gracefully along one side of the town, while on the opposite side lay a vast green meadow bursting with flowers and sweet berries, glowing under the warm sun. There were no paved streets or concrete sidewalks anywhere, only the soft, natural touch of the earth. Everything in the town was lovingly built from the gifts of nature: smooth stone, sturdy branches, leafy twigs, wild grasses, and fragrant blossoms. Quiet, earthy pathways wound through the town, shaded by tall trees with thick, leafy canopies that whispered softly in the breeze. All the small woodland animals lived there happily with their families. Some made their homes high up among the branches, tucked into cozy tree houses with windows that peeked through the leaves. Others built snug dens beneath the ground, hidden among roots and mossy logs. Yes, it had been a truly delightful summer, but now the season was gently drawing to an end. The air had started to cool when night fell, and the apples hanging by the riverside trees were just beginning to blush red and ripen. And everyone knew what that meant. It was almost time for school to begin again. Tomorrow would be the very first day of the new school year. All around the town, the young animals were filled with fluttering feeling. Some were bubbling over with excitement, while others felt a little nervous about what awaited them. And truth be told, most of them felt both excited and anxious at the same time. Have you ever noticed how that can happen? How our hearts can hold more than one feeling at once, nervous and thrilled, all tangled together. There were 6 lively bunny children in Animal Town, 3 cheerful sisters and 3 playful brothers, and most of them were quite eager for the first day of school to arrive. Still, the littlest bunny sister couldn't help feeling a bit scared. It would be her very first day ever, and everything about it felt so new and big. But her older brothers and sisters gathered around her with warm smiles, assuring her that she had nothing to worry about. "You'll love it," they told her kindly. "School is fun once you get there." Over in the tall oak tree near the meadow lived the squirrel family. Their youngest daughter was also about to start school for the very first time. She could hardly sleep the night before. Her tiny heart brimmed with excitement at the thought of being a big kid. She couldn't wait to learn how to read real stories and to meet lots of new friends in her classroom. Her older siblings, though, felt a little differently. The eldest squirrel sister and the middle brother had been enjoying a delightful summer climbing trees, chasing each other through the forest and laughing in the golden sunshine. The thought of sitting still in a classroom again didn't sound nearly as fun. The big sister squirrel was happy about seeing her friends again and curious about what new things she would learn. But part of her wished she had more time to finish the special project she had started over the summer. As for the middle brother, he had spent endless joyful days boating and splashing in the Blue River, and he secretly wished that summer could last forever. Still, he did miss the lively games and activities at school, especially the ones that made everyone laugh together. Yet among all the animal children who felt both thrilled and uneasy about the first day of school, one young student stood out as Asterisk, the most nervous of all. That was T. Jung, Giraffe. Asterisk. His family had only recently moved to Animal Town from a faraway land, and he was to be the very first giraffe ever to attend school there. The poor giraffe felt extra shy for one special reason. If you've ever seen a giraffe or even just a picture of one ULL, know that they have asterisk, incredibly long necks, asterisk, which make them tower above nearly every other animal. And that difference, though beautiful in its own way, made the young giraffe worry that he might not quite fit in. The young giraffe had often gazed at the little schoolhouse in Animal Town. It was a charming place, its walls painted a soft sky blue, surrounded by cheerful clusters of flowers that danced lightly in the breeze. From its wide windows, one could see the sparkling blue river flowing nearby, while tall trees stood proudly along one side, their leafy branches casting a cool shade over part of the playground. This school wasn't very old. It had only been built a few years ago, and to anyone passing by, it looked like the most delightful place to learn and play. The giraffe thought so too, at least at first. But there was one problem that troubled him deeply. The classrooms, though beautiful, weren't built for someone as tall as he was. His long, graceful neck would never fit comfortably inside. This thought worried the young giraffe more than he could say. No one else seemed to notice, though. His parents spoke with bright smiles about all the wonderful things he would soon learn, and how many new friends he would make once school began. The other animal children chattered happily about the games they play and the lessons they share. Once the term started, not one of them mentioned the height of the schoolhouse, so the giraffe kept his worry quietly tucked inside his heart. He didn't think to tell his parents or friends how anxious he felt. If he had shared his worry, perhaps they could have helped him feel better. Because talking about a problem with someone who cares almost always lightens the burden. But he didn't, and so he just kept on worrying. Then, at last, the first day of school arrived. The morning dawned bright and beautiful. The sky a clear, shining blue. The air was crisp and cool, and the sunlight spilled gently across the town. The young giraffe ate breakfast with his parents, then put on his clean, neatly pressed clothes. Even though the knot of worry still lingered in his chest, he knew he must go. Today was the big day. After giving his parents a warm goodbye kiss, he stepped outside to join the other children on their way to school. In Animal Town, there were no cars or noisy streets. Every morning, groups of young animals would trot along together, the older ones guiding and chatting with the younger ones. When the young giraffe stepped out in his crisp new clothes, he spotted the other children gathering cheerfully nearby, all ready for their walk to the schoolhouse under the bright morning sun. The 6 bunny children and the 3 squirrel children were all dressed in their finest, freshly cleaned clothes that morning. Their fur looked neat and shiny, and their faces glowed with excitement. The older ones chatted eagerly among themselves, their voices full of laughter and cheerful energy. When they spotted the young giraffe standing nearby, they waved and called out to him warmly, inviting him to join them. Together, the happy group set off down the soft, leafy street toward the riverbank, where the little blue schoolhouse waited beneath the morning sun. By the time they arrived, the sunlight had begun to melt away the coolness of early morning. The golden rays glimmered on the schoolhouse windows, making them sparkle like polished glass or bright gold. At the front door stood the teachers, smiling kindly as they welcomed each student on this very first day of school. The teacher in charge of the youngest class greeted the new arrivals with a gentle wave. She smiled at the shy giraffe, the 3 little bunny siblings, and the squirrel family's youngest daughter. "Welcome to Animal Town School," she said warmly. "We're so very glad you're here. Come inside, and I'll show you your classroom." The little squirrel sister scampered forward eagerly, followed closely by the bunny brother, his sister, and finally the young giraffe, who still felt his heart fluttering nervously. But as they walked, the giraffe noticed the smallest bunny girl looked a little frightened, too. Wanting to help, he gave her a kind, reassuring smile. She smiled back shyly, and that small moment made them both feel a little braver. Inside, the entry hall was tall and airy, filled with the soft scent of fresh wood and flowers from the garden outside. The young giraffe was relieved to find he could stand comfortably there, his long neck fitting perfectly in the high space. But as they passed the classroom doors, his heart sank. He peered into one of the rooms and realized, with a pang of disappointment, that he had been right all along. The ceilings were far too low. He lowered his head sadly. It seemed he wouldn't be able to stay after all, even though the school looked like such a wonderful, happy place to learn. Just as he was about to turn away, the teacher stopped and looked up at him with understanding in her eyes. "My tall young friend," she said gently, "it seems we need to think creatively, to make you comfortable in our classroom." The giraffe blinked, surprised that someone had finally noticed. He tilted his head curiously. He had never heard that word before. "Do you know what creatively means?" the teacher asked kindly. The giraffe shook his head shyly. The teacher smiled and explained, "Thinking creatively means coming up with new ideas. It means we don't always have to do things the same way as everyone else. Sometimes we can find a different solution that works best for us." The young giraffe listened carefully, his eyes brightening. He nodded slowly. Now he understood, and for the first time that day, he began to feel a small spark of hope. But what possible way could there be for the young giraffe to fit comfortably inside the classroom? The teacher smiled thoughtfully, looking around at all the eager little faces gathered before her. "All right, children," she said warmly, "let's put our minds together and think about this. Our classroom is upstairs, and it's a very lovely room. But our tall friend here might need a bit of help finding a way to fit." The children perked up immediately, their eyes bright with curiosity. The little squirrel sister was the first to speak. She raised her paw and said, "Maybe the giraffe could sit on a tall stool outside the window and look in. Then he could see everything and be the perfect height for our class." The teacher nodded approvingly. "That's a very clever idea," she said. "That might work nicely for now. But what about when the weather turns chilly and winter comes? Our friend might get cold out there." Before she could say more, the bunny brother hopped forward with a new thought. "Oh, What if the giraffe sat in the stairway and we kept the door open so he could hear everything and join in the lessons? The teacher's eyes sparkled. Another smart idea, she said kindly. That's something we could think about too, though it might be even better if our giraffe friend could be Asterisk. Inside Asterisk, the room with everyone else, don't you think? The class nodded, their little minds worry with possibilities. Then another young animal spoke up, tail flicking with excitement. Maybe we could make a hole in the ceiling, they suggested, so the giraffe's head could stick up through it. The teacher chuckled softly as she imagined it. She said with a twinkle in her eye. That's certainly one way to think creatively. Just then, the shy little bunny sister slowly raised her hand. The teacher turned toward her with an encouraging smile. Yes, my dear? She asked gently. The bunny hesitated for a moment, her ears twitching nervously. She wanted to help her new friend, the young giraffe, who had been so kind to her earlier. She wanted their classroom to be a place where everyone felt welcome and happy, where no one felt left out. So, taking a deep breath, she gathered all her courage and spoke up in a small but steady voice.
And this was the idea the little bunny sister shared. What if, she said softly, instead of making a hole in the ceiling, we made one in the floor of the classroom? Everyone turned to look at her with wide eyes, listening carefully. The classroom is on the second floor, she continued, so the giraffe could sit downstairs on the first floor, with his head poking up through the hole to join us. That way, he could really be part of our class. The room went quiet for a moment, then the teacher's face lit up with delight. The young giraffe's eyes brightened too, a shy smile spreading across his long face. It was such a thoughtful idea, simple and kind, yet clever enough to work. And then, hearing all his classmates come up with ideas just for him, something changed inside the young giraffe. For the first time, he realized he didn't have to be so afraid or worried. When friends cared enough to help and everyone worked together, there was always a way to solve a problem. Encouraged by their kindness, he suddenly thought of an idea of his own, one that he believed might work even better. He explained that it was comfortable for him to sit with his long neck stretched slightly forward. So, he said, maybe I could sit on the stairs that lead up to the second floor. If we could make a little window in the classroom wall just big enough for me to put my head through, then I could join the class from there. The children's faces lit up with excitement. The giraffe continued, that way, we don't need a hole in the floor or the ceiling. It would just be a special window to the stairs and hallway. And if any other giraffes come to school one day, they can use it too. Then every giraffe will feel welcome and comfortable at Animal Town School. The teacher's heart warmed at his words. That, she said with a proud smile, is a wonderful idea. All the children cheered in agreement, and so, that's exactly what they did. From that day forward, the young giraffe stayed at school and he absolutely loved it. He loved playing games with his classmates, helping the teacher with classroom tasks, and learning fascinating new things every day. But of all the lessons he learned that year, there was one that stayed with him the most, a lesson more valuable than anything written in books. That no problem is too big to solve when you think creatively and work together with caring friends who believe in you.